Now, it goes without saying that Vietnam and the U.S. were mortal enemies during the Vietnam War. In the decades that have passed since that dreadfully bloody conflict, the two countries have restored diplomatic ties, share a friendly relationship and cooperate in a whole host of fields. Lee Min-sun reports.
The most important event in the history of U.S. Vietnam relations is the Vietnam War, which lasted from 1960 to 1975. The U.S. first established diplomatic relations with Vietnam in 1950 when Vietnam gained limited independence from France. But those ties were cut following the end of the Vietnam War, and that rupture of diplomatic relations lasted 20 years. The Vietnamese government had made steady efforts to create the conditions for the normalization of relations with the U.S., such as cooperating with issues involving prisoners of war and those missing in action. In 1995, the U.S. announced the formal normalization of diplomatic relations with Vietnam.
One of the reasons why Vietnam is important to the US is that it's both linked to Southeast Asia and borders with China. To balance power with China, for the US, it was important to have Vietnam on their side.
Since then, the two countries signed a trade treaty in 2000, and the top leaders of both countries visited each other and promised to build a cooperative relationship that looks toward the future. The two countries have continued to strengthen their cooperation in economic, military, labor, and humanitarian issues through regular dialogue and high-level personal exchanges.
Considering that the Vietnamese economy grew after the normalization of relations with the US, and that's what North Korea ultimately wants in the end, holding the summit in Vietnam could have a symbolic meaning for North Korea as well.
Lee Min-sun, Arirang News.